When you've been in a relationship with a disrespectful man for so long, eventually your body starts to force you to protect your peace. And it's not even like in a selfish way, right? Because a lot of women get accused for being selfish because they're protecting their peace. They're valuing their peace. They don't want to do certain things, or they're avoiding certain things at all costs. When a woman gets to that point, you got to ask yourself, what made her choose peace this way? What's forcing her to choose peace this way? No one starts out choosing peace out of nowhere. It got to come from somewhere. No one just wakes up and be like, I'm protecting my peace from now on. All of a sudden, something's got to force you to get there. And usually when people start protecting their peace, it's because of disrespect. It's because of overgiving so much without reciprocity. A lot of times it's about being loyal to disloyal people. Protecting your peace literally is like when you finally start valuing your worth, you start choosing peace. And it's sad to say that you got to sell yourself short to a certain period of time before you start figuring this out. Now, some people learn from other people's mistakes. But sometimes your mind is kind of wired differently, and it really all depends on the movies you watch, the environment you grew up in, the music you listen to, the friend groups you had, your culture, family members, your upbringing. All of these things, right, is what makes up who you are as you start to absorb different information in different areas of your life. Right? Every area, everything that you listen to and consume over time added a little piece of how you see your worth. And some people see their worth the moment they get disrespected. Like, nope, I'm not going to tolerate this. Some women only see their worth when they're overgiving, when they're overcompensating, when they're proving themselves over and over and over and over that, hey, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Because let's be honest, right? Most loyal women were taught how to keep the man. So if you were conditioned, think about it, right? If you were conditioned on how to keep the man, chances are you're going to prove your worth in every single area, that I can do this, this, and this so that you can stay and love me, protect me, and provide for me. But of course, things change. And the thing is, when you're doing all of this, when you're trying to keep a man who don't want to be kept, you start hitting that burnout phase. You start losing yourself. Like, you ever woke up one day, looked at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, damn, man, I don't even recognize who I am. I've never been like this. I've never had nobody made me do certain things that I never wanted to do. And here I am today. How am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I know a lot of you had those questions. You'll look at yourself and you're like, man, I never thought I'd be the woman that would do something like this. But here we are. I know a lot of you have been there. But now you're at a place where you're so hell-bent on protecting your peace, because peace became personal to you after loving someone who constantly made you sacrifice your peace just to keep the peace in a relationship. But see, a lot of women don't even realize that's what's happening to them at first. You're probably thinking you're just too guarded, or you've gotten distant. No, you just gotten tired. There's a difference, because you've spent years dealing with inconsistency. You got tired of dealing with physical inconsistency, emotional inconsistency, mental inconsistency. You got tired of walking on eggshells. You got tired of managing a grown man's mood and then wondering which version of him you're going to get today. You going to get the cool, nice one? You going to get the compassionate, empathetic one? You going to get the peaceful one? You going to get the disrespectful one? And for some of you who are in abusive relationships, you don't even know what kind of abuse you about to go through today, Is it shouting, slapping, punching walls? I don't know. I had a coworker years ago. She was dating this dude and she's like, 5'3"? Dude's like 6'3", 6'2", literally a whole foot taller. And I don't know why some of you women just love super tall guys. I get it, the attraction. But like, if you don't know a certain type of dude and now don't get me wrong, short guys can be abusive too, right? But man, it's a lot more traumatizing when you see somebody that's a whole foot taller than you punching walls whenever he's pissed off, angry for no reason. And even if he has a reason to be pissed off, punching holes into the walls is not an excuse, bro. Like, that's not a way to like deal with your anger issues, right? You don't go off and be like, well, would you rather be punched or would you rather me punch the walls? And man, she would come to work scared every time. And it's like, but at some point, you keep dealing with somebody like that. Your body's forced to choose peace. You get tired of dealing with something like that. You get tired of sacrificing your peace just to keep the peace in a relationship so that you can see where the potential shows up the best. Like your nervous system starts craving peace more than love itself. And when your body is craving peace, when your mind is craving peace, right? You start noticing energy quick, right? You start noticing dismissive behavior, disrespectful behavior, abusive behavior. You notice these things quick. You know why? Because your body's on the alert. It's so quick to, when you've been accustomed to certain things, right? Certain experiences, your body picks up on it quick, right? So whenever you see a situation, you're on the alert. Sweetheart, when you're on the alert every single day, all day, your body is in survival mode. You're in survival mode. Your mind is in survival mode. This is why you don't know how to shut off your thoughts. Because you are in an environment that's forcing you to stay on the alert. Your nervous system is like a security guard. It's always on guard. That's what walking on eggshells mean. I don't know what I'm getting today, but I need to stay on the alert so that I can predict what I'm possibly getting today and what I might have to deal with. So when you're so hell-bent on protecting your peace, it's because you've tolerated too much. You've let a lot of things slide for so long that now it's starting to eat you alive. And it's not like you ignored things because you didn't care. You ignored things because out of love, you wanted to keep the peace. But when you sacrifice your own peace for so long just to keep the peace in a relationship that's not providing peace, that's not protecting peace, that's not serving peace, eventually you're forced to protect yours, to serve yours, to embody peace. You feel me? Because you used to explain yourself in 10 different ways just to try to get that man to understand what the hell and where the hell you're coming from. You used to give so many chances for things you wasn't even supposed to give chances for. But out of love, you just let it slide. And I'm pretty sure the only reason why you start letting it slide is because maybe there was a time where you didn't let it slide and you got disciplined with your peace. You didn't tolerate certain things, but then suddenly someone made you feel guilty along the way. And when you're an overgiver, chances are you're going to feel guilty for certain things because you're like, that's not who I am. And you start feeling sorry just for that one time of you protecting your peace. You start feeling guilty. And now when you're guilty like that, you start letting things slide for no reason. It becomes a new identity. You're like, man, I don't want to be that woman that, I want to be soft because, I don't want to get rid of nobody because, and when you want to be accepted and loved so bad that you're willing to sacrifice yourself to keep that love, that's what ends up happening. But like I said, sometimes your body gets so tired and fatigued that you're now forced to protect your peace. And I know there had to be times where you kept believing in potential more than pattern. You thought that the potential of this man would show up and make up for all the disrespectful patterns he had that you had to survive. Because when you're trying to be successful in life, right, you tend to fail a lot more than you succeed. So you're looking, and then that one success wipes out all the other failures in your life. It's the same at how you're looking at this man's potential. You've gone through so many disrespectful patterns, right, that eventually you're hoping that potential shows up and makes up for all the shit that you've been through. But sometimes it don't work that way. And one thing you got to understand is your body is like literally a Wi-Fi signal. You think your eyes are seeing things and your mind is processing information and your heart's feeling things, right? But your entire body is the mind. This entire being is the mind. So when you're going through a certain experience over and over, your body's remembering this. Your body's memorizing over time what disrespect feels like, just like it's memorizing what peace feels like. Your body's remembering how many times you try to fix things that you didn't even create, just to keep the peace in that relationship, just so that it doesn't fall apart, just so that you don't fail that relationship. And if you're an overgiver, one of the biggest things you're afraid of is failing a relationship. You'll blame yourself for a little while until you realize it's starting to drain the hell out of you, not just emotionally, but mentally, physically, spiritually, because I don't think some people realize how exhausting it is to love a man who doesn't make you feel safe. That every single day you got to question your reality. Like you just had a long day at work. You just want to come home and watch your favorite show, eat your favorite snack, go to sleep in peace with satisfaction and not have to worry about shit. But you don't know what argument you about to go through this night. Like, you're going to bed fatigued, waking up tired. A lot of this has to do with not having peace in our relationship. Think about it. When you got somebody who brings and provides peace in our relationship, you have so much energy. It's not just the food you eat, man. Like, you can eat healthy as hell. But if you got somebody who's draining the hell out of you, all that healthy food you eating, you still gonna feel fatigued. Because once you start feeling fatigued over here, the body will follow. The body will make you feel like, damn, I'm exhausted, bro. But eventually, all that you're trying to process emotionally and mentally will drain you physically and spiritually. In that kind of relationship, it changes you. It changes how your body responds to this man. It changes how you trust. It changes how comfortable you feel opening up. Because once somebody makes you feel misunderstood, ignored, dismissed, unheard, unappreciated, and emotionally alone, your mind starts associating closeness with stress instead of safety. That's why now you pull back the moment something feels off. Your body remembers what the hell you've been through because of that specific pattern. So you're gonna pull back. And a lot of men don't even realize how much damage gets done when a woman has to constantly suppress herself, sacrifice her peace just to keep the peace in our relationship. Because some women spent years, decades, swallowing their feelings just to avoid arguments. They spent years carrying the emotional weight of that relationship just to stay soft. They spent years sacrificing their peace, communicating softly to a man who would only listen once they finally broke down. Like, you mean to tell me you have to have a mental collapse before your man listens to you? That's crazy. That'll make anybody exhausted. That'll make anybody protective over their peace. Because over time, you stop wanting love that comes with confusion, inconsistency, emotional neglect, and stress. You start wanting calm. You start wanting relationships where your nervous system can feel relaxed. And just because you want this, it doesn't mean you're asking for too much. That's what healthy love is supposed to feel like. But when you've been through toxic situations for so long, peace feels boring. Peace feels like it's unfamiliar at first, but get used to it. Because what you're familiar with now is toxicity, disrespect, narcissism. That's your norm. Your body understands this. This is why sometimes when you get out of an abusive relationship and you spend peace by yourself, it feels weird. This is how you end up attracting men who are narcissistic, abusive, emotionally unsafe, because your body's associating what's normal, right? What's normal for you? Toxicity. What's normal for you? Narcissism. What's normal for you? Abuse. What's normal for you? Disrespect. So your body will naturally go towards what's normal, even if you know it's not healthy for you. Because when peace feels boring, you're like, man, I don't want this. But I'll tell you what, peace is boring. It's not boredom. It's just boring because your body's not used to spiking cortisol and dopamine, cortisol and dopamine. What do I mean by cortisol and dopamine? These are hormone levels. Your cortisol level is going up when you're going through disrespect, arguments, and stress. But then there's dopamine right afterwards when you guys make up and you have makeup sex and then you do all this whatever, right? Just to get that relationship back to normal. That's the dopamine. So cortisol, dopamine. That's what's happening there. This is why some women stay longer than they should have. It's because that dopamine level, it's like, oh, you know what? It's not all that bad. It's horrendous. What kind of relationship goes like this? It's supposed to go like this. That's how it's supposed to go. Not up and down, up and down, up and down. I think people normalize this nonsense where they say a relationship has its ups and downs. You're basically saying a relationship is 50% peace and 50% stress. That's bullshit. What kind of relationship is that? That's a situationship. That's not a relationship. A relationship is supposed to be 70% peace, 30% stress. The stress comes from growth and the peace comes from the reward from all that growing. You know what's a 50% peace and a 50% stress relationship? You go to work all day, you come home, you argue on the couch for like 2 hours and then you make up for the other 2 hours. That's 50-50. If you've been through this for 10, 20 years already, why would you want to go through it another 10, 20? Don't you want to know what peace really feels like? And I'm not saying this so that you feel regret. I'm saying this so that you build up awareness. What are you settling for? What have you been settling for? Because obviously what I just said will trigger some of you. And if it did, Good, because now you're waking up. Now you're reflecting on, damn, what the hell and it's okay. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up for it. You just got used to that kind of relationship for so long, you didn't even realize you were settling. You got so used to surviving love that you didn't even realize you was in survival mode. You just thought that was just normal. But see, when you start protecting your peace on purpose, it becomes a mission. Because you got sick and tired of being sick and tired. You got tired of losing sleep for no reason. You got tired of that man acting careless with your heart. You got tired of that man making you feel like your emotions don't matter. You got tired of begging for basic reciprocity, basic respect, basic decency, shit that you shouldn't even have to beg for. And over time, when you keep on begging like this, your body hits exhaustion because you're begging for something that was supposed to come naturally. When you're building life with somebody who loves you, you're not supposed to go through this kind of stress. Life is already stressful as it is. The man that you're building life with is not supposed to put you through that much stress. So now when you're protecting your peace, it's only natural. Your body is trying to tell you, hey, I can't take more of this. I don't want more of this. And now when somebody else brings the same pattern to you, immediately you're like, I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm done. And maybe that person don't understand, like, damn, why is she like that? She's selfish as hell. But it's not that you're selfish. It's that your body is telling you, like, yo, we've been through this before. I'm not trying to go through that shit again. And that's okay. Let people prove to you that they're bringing peace into your life. If you're dating, if you're out of a relationship now after years of sacrificing your peace just to keep the peace, and you're dating again, let that man prove to you that he can provide and protect peace before you even give that man access to you. It's not selfish, it's self-awareness. Anybody makes you feel guilty for protecting your peace, just understand something. They're there for a reason. They're not there for you. They're there to gain access to you. Because the right man won't make you feel like you're selfish. The right man will try to understand, oh, she's protecting her peace hard. What forced her to do something like this? I'm a good man, so let me prove to her that I'm an asset in her life and not a liability. The wrong man will guilt trip you all day long, throw all kind of shade in your face just to make you let your guard down. The right man will show you, you know what? I understand that you've been through certain things in life, and I'm not here to put you through whatever you've been through again. This time it's going to be different, and I'm going to show you. But now it's up to you to be receptive of this too. You can't always play games and be like, keep your guard up just to see how far he can prove and protect peace. Because men work differently. Men work off of appreciation. So when you don't show appreciation, he's not inspired no more. He'll now protect his peace. And I think in society now, we have this imbalance of where we're calling people selfish just because they're protecting their peace. This is what you got to understand, right? Women protect their peace when they don't feel safe, and men protect their peace when they don't feel appreciated. Completely different. This is why y'all have to learn the dynamics of, men and women. I hate the term masculinity and femininity. I can't even say the words right. That's probably why I don't say it. But I don't like to use the term masculine and feminine. I feel like it's just buzzwords at this point. Men and women, keep it simple, man. Men are inspired to protect their peace very differently than women. The moment us men don't feel appreciated, we don't get inspired to do things no more, And it's not much to show some appreciation. You don't have to bow to our feet. It's a little thank you, Like when my wife says, hey, thank you for, getting this to me. I feel like I want to do more. That's my fuel right there. I feel like I want to do more. But that's just how it is. But anyways, I think I went on too long in this damn video. I have so much to say, man. I got so much to say. But if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I appreciate you listening and watching from wherever you're watching from. If you've made it all the way to the end, drop a heart in the comments, man. Let me know that you made it all the way to the end and share your story. I read through every single comment. I may not respond to every single comment, but I read them. This is how I'm able to make certain messages too for y'all, because I read what you need, And I've also seen a lot of things in my life where I understand and know how to explain these dynamics. So until the next message, much love and peace.